You ever have that feeling, that kind of low-grade hum of anxiety, the constant pull of your phone, the sense that your attention is being shattered into a million tiny pieces? If you've ever felt like your digital life is controlling you and not the other way around, then this is for you. So let's get into it.
This line comes from a really powerful essay by the commentator Andrew Sullivan. And look, he wasn't just being dramatic. He was describing this feeling of being broken by what he called an endless bombardment of news and gossip and images. And what's so wild is that this feeling, it's not rare anymore, is it? It's kind of becoming the default for a lot of us. Right, and it all leads to this widespread sense that our relationship with technology has just become, well, unsustainable. The one word that author Cal Newport kept hearing over and over in his research was exhausting. It's not about any single app, it's the whole shebang, this overwhelming feeling that we've totally lost control. I mean, just look at this list. How much of it feels familiar? That nervous twitch to check your phone for no reason? That feeling that you can't even have a real conversation with a friend sitting right across from you without one of you glancing at a screen? This isn't about you having a lack of willpower. This is a shared experience. These are the symptoms of a digital life that's gone completely off the rails.
And here's the thing. Nobody downloaded their first app thinking, you know what I'd love? To feel more anxious and give away control of my own attention. Of course not. We adopted these tools for small, totally reasonable purposes. And then we kind of woke up one day and found they'd taken over our entire lives. So how on earth did that happen?
Well, the answer has a name: the attention economy. And here is the big reveal, the thing you have to understand. Your distraction is not a personal failing. It is a multi-billion-dollar business model. Our attention, that's the product being sold.
The comedian Bill Maher really hit the nail on the head with this one. He saw this direct line from how big tobacco engineered cigarettes to be more addictive to how big tech engineers their apps to be more compulsive. As he put it, Philip Morris just wanted your lungs. The App Store wants your soul. Oof. This is a fundamental shift in how we have to think about this stuff. We love to believe that technology is neutral, right? That it's all about how we choose to use it. But the insiders, the very people who built these systems, they're now shouting from the rooftops that that's just not true. And this is one of those insiders, Tristan Harris. He used to be a design ethicist at Google. So he's not some random critic, he's a whistleblower from the inside. When he says your phone is a slot machine, he means it, literally. He's talking about a very specific playbook of techniques designed to get you hooked. So how does this digital slot machine actually work? Well, it's mostly built on two super powerful psychological hooks. First, there's intermittent positive reinforcement. Just think about a slot machine in Vegas. You pull the lever, not knowing if you'll win. It's that unpredictability that keeps you glued to the chair. It's the exact same thing when you refresh your feed. You don't know if you'll see a new like or retweet, so you check and you check and you check again. The second hook is our fundamental drive for social approval. We are hardwired as human beings to care what our tribe thinks of us. These apps tap directly into that deep need, making us crave that little hit of digital validation. And the key thing to realize is this just isn't a fair fight. On one side, you've got your own finite attention and willpower. On the other side, you have billion-dollar companies with literal armies of engineers and psychologists whose entire job is to figure out how to keep your eyes on the screen. It's a lopsided arms race for your attention, and for a long time now, we've been losing. But what if we could change the rules of the game? What if, instead of just trying to fight harder, we adopted a completely new philosophy for how we deal with technology? This is exactly where the idea of digital minimalism comes in. You see, the central question digital minimalism asks isn't just, is this app useful? It asks something much, much deeper. Is there a better way? And here it is, the core definition. This isn't about hating technology. It's about being intentional. The key phrases here are strongly support, things you already value, and then, and this is the big one, happily miss out on everything else. It's basically a declaration of independence for your attention. So let's compare the two mindsets. The default, what most of us are doing, is what you could call the maximalist mindset. Any little hint of a benefit is enough for us to sign up. It's all driven by that fear of missing out or FOMO. But the minimalist mindset, the intentional one, is the total opposite. It starts with your deepest values and then asks, is this technology the best way to help me with that? It's not about what you're missing out on, it's about what you're focusing on. Okay, so this sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it?
Well, Cal Newport lays out a really practical, actionable plan. He calls it the 30-day digital declutter.
Now, why a whole 30-day thing? Because honestly, the small tweaks, like just turning off a few notifications, they don't work. They get totally overwhelmed by those powerful forces we just talked about. To really fix this, you need a clean break, a rapid transformation to completely reset your relationship with your digital life from the ground up. And the process itself is pretty simple. Step 1, take a 30-day break from all your optional tech. We're not talking about your work email. This is stuff like social media, news feeds, online shopping, games. Step 2 is absolutely crucial. Don't just sit there bored. You've got to use this time to explore and rediscover real, high-quality things you enjoy doing in the real world. And finally, step 3. After the break is over, you don't just jump back in. You very carefully reintroduce a piece of tech, but only if it passes a really strict test of value. So, what's on the other side of all this? What are the actual rewards for taking on this kind of challenge? Well, this is where it gets really, really exciting. But first, let's be super clear. This is not about being anti-technology, not at all. It's about being pro-human. The goal is to demote technology from being this demanding master to being a useful servant, a tool that actually helps you build a life that feels meaningful to you. And these are the kinds of things people actually do with their reclaimed time. Seriously, these aren't just hypotheticals. The people Newport studied started learning to play an instrument, they started reading dozens of books a year, getting in shape, building real, actual connections in their communities. They filled the void left by their screens with things that generate genuine, lasting satisfaction. And that really is the great paradox at the heart of all of this, isn't it? To truly get the best out of our amazing modern tools, we have to become way more selective and actually spend significantly less time just idly poking at them. So that leaves us with the final and probably the most important question. If you could reclaim all those hours you're currently losing to mindless scrolling and tapping, if you could win back your focus and your autonomy, what would you do with it? What amazing, valuable, deeply human thing is just waiting for you right beyond your screen?